Welcome everybody to the Students Lab podcast, Splitting the Bar, where we talk about topics, dance related, everything having to do with dance inside the studio, outside of the studio. This is for all my dance moms, dance dads, dancers, wherever you're at in your career. If you're looking to join dance, wanting to get a little bit more educated in the dance world, in our world, basically, this podcast is for you. So we come out with weekly podcasts. My name is Bonita. I'm the owner and director of the Students Lab Dance Studio here in Avondale, Arizona. And today I have a very special guest, one of my former students, crewmates. We go way, way back. Bailey Munoz, also known as Bailrok. And we're excited to have him. I'm excited to have him, obviously, everybody here. He's about to teach a master class here in like 30 minutes, half an hour. But we're jumping on to have him join the podcast so he can share a little bit. He has, in his very young life already accomplished so much, traveled so much of the world, experienced dance in the stage, commercially, in studio. I mean, you name it, he's done it pretty much, and hasn't even seen his 21st birthday yet. Mm-hmm. So it's really exciting to have him speak to all of you, and just share from him, hear from him specifically. So welcome, Bailey. Introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. That was beautifully said. Thank you so much, Bonita, for having me in your amazing studio. This is my first time here.
Yeah.
And for having me in AZ and to share my knowledge with all these next generation dancers and human beings. So excited for this masterclass. And if you're watching this podcast after you took my class, just take some notes, and I would love to share whatever you guys want to learn, whether it's industry or my past experiences.
Nice, definitely. So cool thing too, his drummer, he traveled in with a drummer for his masterclass, which is going to be a straight treat for all of you that are going to be here in just a few minutes. So more to come on that. So let's talk real quick. So I'm going to quickly name a few things off of his bio because it's pretty extensive, but I think the highlights will get you guys all excited, and then he's going to share, we're going to kind of dig into a little bit. So Bailey, tell me when you started dancing. When did you start dancing?
I started dancing at the age of 9.
Okay, so you started at 9.
Yes.
So 9 was like the year.
9 was the year. I've always
You were doing soccer before that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I remember all the soccer things in your house.
I played soccer and basketball. Those are my first love when it comes to sports. But
nice.
I've always had a fascination of music and dance ever since I could remember.
Nice.
So I was always that kid dancing at family reunions, and the Filipino parties be popping. Karaoke and dancing. So I was always that kid who was not shy to hop in a circle or
nice.
And I didn't really know what I was doing. I just saw what I saw, whether it's on TV or watching old school dance movies like Breaking or Beach Street. That's what kind of sparked my interest. Like, well, that's cool, but I don't know if I could do it yet. Yeah. So age 9 is when my parents are like, yeah, we're gonna put you in the studio. So at the time, I was born in the Bay Area, but I was living in Las Vegas. You could say I was raised out there. At the time in Vegas, we were trying different out studios, but they weren't giving nothing was really gravitating towards me. Like, I didn't really feel like an energy like, oh, I belong here. Until I went to this studio called Studio One. It's not open as to date, but it's called Studio One, and that's where I met my mentor, Artson.
Nice.
And he showed me the ropes of the underground b-boy scene, and he also introduced me to K Moore, who also became my second mentor, who showed me choreo as well.
Nice.
So then both of those I came up in both of them.
Yeah, with both of them.
So that's how I started. So I started training in breaking with Artson and in choreography and with K.
Nice.
So that was my background.
Super dope. And literally we were just talking, because I was there for a lot of Bailey's early years. And then I moved and did family, and we're doing studio and stuff too. So I feel like I missed a chunk of his career too and his growth. But it's crazy to know that so he started at 9, and 9 literally was the year You were on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
So, I mean, he basically started it. Let me just tell you, this grown man now, but Bailey as a kid was, you just couldn't keep your eyes off of him. Like what he's saying in terms of like, he would get in a circle. Anytime he was anywhere dancing, it was like, he was the show. He was the entertainment. You know what I mean? So I think in that aspect, you were just born with that gift. You know what I mean? You didn't even know probably who you were inspiring, how you were inspiring. You just did what was joyful to you. And it was, I mean, I saw it so young for you too, you know? So America's Got Talent, he's 9. He starts training. You start obviously training with Artson through Rocksteady.
Yes.
Started getting a bit of everything. Justaboo, you were 13. Okay, 13. Let's talk a little bit. So tell me about that.
All right, so let's go back to 9 because a lot happened during that time. It was like, I call it the calling. Like you said, like I had this craving that I knew I had inside me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I knew there was just something connecting through performing and dancing for me.
Yep.
So when I went on AGT, I actually was in New York watching Red Bull BC1 2009.
Oh,
so
dang.
that's the year.
Okay.
Cloud and Lilu, that
Nice.
legendary battle, and Cloud has, he's one of my biggest inspirations to date.
Nice. Yep.
But anyways, long story short, I was dancing outside because I was so inspired of what I saw in that arena.
Nice.
And then there happens to be a producer of America's Got Talent, and I was dancing with this kid. His name is Miles.
Yes.
Miles Brown, and
you guys know. What's the show that he does?
He's in Blackish.
Blackish, yeah.
So, yeah,
He's
amazing kid, amazing dancer. But before we ran into each other at freestyle session, other events.
They were like the 2 young hip hop little kids in the scene at that time. Yep.
Yeah. So then basically the producer's like, do you guys dance with each other? And we're like, no, we just run into each other once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
And they're like, you guys should audition for America's Got Talent. And then from there, we became Future Funk, is what we called each other. And we made it to the semifinals. It was season 5. And that just opened a whole new gate. Because before that, I was competing at, HHI and breaking battles. So that's all I knew. Yeah. So then after going on America's Got Talent, and witnessing all like the TV shows and the whole industry, it opened so much doors. And after a year of dancing, I never knew what was possible.
Yes.
So then after that, I got to work with artists such as like Chris Brown and Bruno Mars and Justin Bieber. So it was just a blessing, and all of this happened so fast. And I call it the calling because it was like that feeling, it was just right, and it was just meant to be, and things happened for that reason.
Yeah.
So, it was a crazy transition to just dancing and watching people that inspired me to, being on the platform they were at. So, it definitely came full circle for me, for sure.
Nice. So with all those, like even those artists, and I know you've worked with like Will Smith and Megan Trainor and Gwen Stefani. So of all the artists you've worked with, what's a standout like moment for you that you want to share?
Yeah, all the artists I've worked with are so brilliant and so talented. I've looked up to them my whole lives, but one in particular is Chris Brown.
Yeah.
So he had me in 3 of his projects.
Nice.
His Fortune album.
Cool.
His 3X music video, and then I was on Dancing with the Stars with him as well.
Nice.
So he knew my name. Got me a little Bailrok. But he was just so cool. Just for me, he just felt like, and that really, like, wait, sorry.
Go. I just thought about something. Go.
No, this really opened my eyes because obviously we're working with these like big celebrities, but they're just normal humans, just like us.
Yeah.
They want to learn from us as much as we want to learn from them.
Yeah.
So he was so cool. He was like, I was the only kid with all his adult dancers. So he was like, at the time it was a PS3. He was like, he bought a PS3 from, I don't know, like Walmart or some store like that. He was all like, Bailey, I got us a PS3. Let's go play some games before a shoot. I'm like, word, I don't even play video games, but I'm like, I'm playing with Chris Brown. So it was just amazing. And then to see his work ethic, this was like one of his not first directing like a commercial, but one of his first projects doing that. So he was young at the time. So just to be part of that process and witness that at a young age, it definitely, looking back at it now, is just, can't even imagine like to even digest that, you know? So shout out to Chris Brown and one of the most amazing people that I've ever met.
Dope. I was gonna say when you were just telling that story, I remember you used to be close with one of the NBA players, the son.
Yes, Ron Artest.
Yeah, I remember. Yes,
he's not so little no more. He is 6'9".
Well, dude, even when you guys would hang out when you were little, it was so hilarious. Funny. Like you guys would always like chill, and he would be like 2 feet taller, and he's like the same age.
It's crazy. I met them at the Georgia Lopez. So this was after America's Got Talent, and we went on, I think it was one of the NBA All-Stars, and then we ran into Georgia Lopez, and he was like, "You're going to be on my show one day." And then here we are, and then we run into Ron Artest, who now is Meta World Peace. He played for the Lakers at the time, and then I met his son, and we've been best friends since.
I remember you guys always hanging out,
And he's actually playing basketball right now, too.
Oh, dope!
He's at CSUN.
Okay.
So he's playing D1,
nice.
so... Yeah,
dang.
proud of him.
That's cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Justaboo. So I've shared a little bit about this event. If you've taken some of my classes, I think I've even shared about you specifically winning at age 13. So you might even be able to explain Justaboo a little bit better than me. I've never been to the event, followed it for years. It's a massive all styles competition that happens in France.
Yes.
And basically the best of the best are competing here. There's all different, literally all different, every style of hip hop, right? I mean, they pretty much break it down. So even it's not just breaking, they have top rock, or like it's not just like they have hip hop, or like hip hop freestyle, they have whacking, house, like really, I don't even know. I mean, there's so many categories and stuff. So talk a little bit about that. You beat everybody, all the grown folks, and from everywhere around the world at 13. You took the top rock competition. So let's talk. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, Justaboo at the time was the Olympics of dance.
Yes.
And Justaboo meaning dancing up top. So the styles, you would dance up top with house, locking, popping, and then they added top rock, which is amazing for the b-boy community.
Yeah.
So that was a crazy experience. Like you said, I've always had a love for performing, but I also had a love for top rock. There was something so tribal and so connecting with top rock for me.
Yeah.
Especially growing up with Artson and one of my mentors, Why Not?
Yeah.
Just learning from them, who are like the kings of top rock, and especially Mr. Wiggles. Shout out to Mr. Wiggles.
For sure. The OG.
Yeah, so really inspired to me at a young age to be like, I want to enter a top rock battle, no matter what happens, because not a lot of kids would enter top rock battles at the time.
Yeah.
So I was 13 years old, and I'm like, I actually tried 2 years before I went to France just to experience the Justaboo event, because when I'm telling you it's like a once in a lifetime experience, it is. Like, people out in Europe, they worship this event.
Yeah. Well, and dancing and battling overseas is so different.
And there's people that go to the event that don't even dance.
Correct. They're just fans. It's like people going to sporting events here. They just go to the dance events because, totally. So not America. But
So I tried 2 years before and I made it, whether it's top 16 or top 8.
Yeah.
And it was just a fun experience. Everyone's like, he's a kid, he's doing top rock. But there's something about Justaboo 2013 it was just a beautiful experience. So I qualified. They do qualifications all around the world. So there's a USA qualifier in New York. So I entered that. I battled the top rockers in Vegas, in the USA, including one of the top dancers who lived in AZ, Flexum. So I battled Flexum, Jigs.
Dang.
There were so many there. Heavy hitters as well. So
you beat everybody.
Just an aim for so it was challenging. So I beat
for sure. It wasn't easy to get even to pass the qualifiers.
Yes. So
for sure.
So there you go. I battled the heavy hitters in the USA, and I won as the USA champion, Top Rock champion.
Nice.
And then the winner gets flown out to the main event in France.
Yeah.
So then I went out there. I'm like, okay, we're back again.
Yeah.
Just something feels different. My preparation was different. I treated
Yes,
it.
you trained like crazy.
Yes. Yeah, my mentors came out. Why not? Mr.
Yeah.
Wiggles. At the time, were just like training me. Like I trained for this like it was the Olympics.
Yeah.
And even though it was
Yep.
top dancing, like I studied music. I studied Gene Kelly. I was doing anything I can. And I was 13 at the time.
Yeah.
To see if I could make this possible, because the kid has never won Justaboo.
Right.
So then I'm there, and then I find out Top Rock doesn't get into the main stage until you make it to the finals. So I had to battle everyone who qualified and won from their country.
You were like in the underground basement battling all the way until you could actually get.
Yeah, that's how underrated Top Rock was at the time.
Yeah.
But so then I was going through each country. And then I made it to the finals, which was like, I was already on a high. I'm like, I made it. I'm 13 years old, battling people twice my age.
Yeah.
Then I battled Smile, who's I thought was one of the best top rockers in France and Europe in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way. But there was just something about battling for me that I gravitated is the competition, the level that you.
Well, and you can perform. You have a lot of performance, and that's like what I try to explain to my students. Like, you guys, yes, it's but it's a battle stage.
Exactly.
It's a battle stage.
And listen,
it's very different. You know,
there's something I call it in the zone, and when you're in the moment and you put in that work already, like I did, all you have to worry about is just doing your thing.
Yeah.
That's all, and living in that moment.
Yeah, if you're not ready, it's going to show there.
Exactly,
If you're prepped and you're ready, let it shine. You know what I mean?
So the battle happens, and we went, I think it was supposed to be 3 rounds, but we went 4 rounds. He went an extra round with me.
Oh, okay.
And then the crowd was going crazy. It was electrifying, and then...
Like, I'm 13, bro. I could go all day.
Exactly. and then I won.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was a long story, but that's how that process went, and... to this day, I still look back on it. I think that's one of my biggest achievements.
Yeah, definitely.
Not at a young age, but just in life. So
yeah,
learned a lot.
I mean, but at a young age too. Like, you know what I mean? That is grown folks don't even, you know what I mean, get to experience that and whatnot too. So
breaking's in the Olympics now. So.
Yes, breaking is in the Olympics. Another huge win for that community, our community,
dance community in general.
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing.
For sure. Okay, so Justaboo, we talked about Chris Brown, some of the artists and stuff too. Let's talk a little bit about, so let's jump to So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
So we, we were at dinner, we had breakfast, we've been talking about all these topics and all of the, you know what I mean, all the kind of behind the scenes stuff, of course. But what would you give two sides? Because we legit, think there's a lot of kids, like I even know some of my students that are like, their dream is to
be on the show,
okay. Right? Yeah. So talk to that. Let's talk to that first. Okay. Yeah. So we've got a lot of kids here training a lot, doing a lot of all of that stuff. They're looking potentially to do industry and to go in that lane. Soon maybe later for others. What advice would you give them? What do you feel like this is what you should do to prepare? These are some this is what I would tell you now, doing all the audition process, going through it all, winning So You Think You Can Dance season 16 in 2009, right?
Yes.
And I mean, that was like, again, that was Justaboo again, right? On a different stage. You're in the USA. Everyone's voting for you. Like you got 3-4 times as many votes as anybody you were competing against, right? I mean, America just loved you. You were able to come in as a b-boy. You were versatile. You were able to do contemporary, lifting, literally whatever they threw at you, you were like, bring it on. Yeah,
just hearing that makes me emotional because before I started dance, besides like watching, old school movies, it was TV. It was America's Best Dance Crew. And then watching, Step Up and all those, those throwbacks. But that's what really, really sparked. So watching them on TV and for it to come full circle where I myself am competing on TV, there's no other feeling pressure, anxiety, like it. But it's the best feeling in the world. I call So You Think You Can Dance the best competition you will ever enter.
Yeah.
Just in life as a dancer.
Right.
You grow so much. And it was a crazy experience.
Yeah.
So watching,
friendships,
yeah. So this show has been going on for 16 seasons.
Yeah. Sheesh.
I also went to a performing arts school in high school. So I've learned through there, it was a ballet kind of contemporary based and modern. So every day I had my ballet, 1.5 hours, and then we go straight into modern where you learn Horton, Graham, Martha Graham, and then you get your jazz, so I got to, because all my life I was just b-boy and hip hop.
Yeah.
So then I got to tap in a new side to myself.
Yes.
And I'm like thinking, because you have to be 18 to enter, So You Think You Dance. I'm like, you know what? This has always been one of my dreams. I'm just gonna go for it.
Nice.
So when I turn 18, I'm like, I'm just gonna go on the show.
Yeah.
Just no matter what happens, I know this is gonna be the best experience of my life, and it was. But it was the biggest test because besides all those styles, you're getting tested like never before. The pressure is crazy. The partnering is crazy. And you're competing against the top dancers who are as versatile.
Yes.
So if you want to be on So You Think You Could Dance, study every single season because, it's there. The bar is getting set every single year. So for me, that's what I study. I studied old footage, even the past B-boys who entered the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like Legacy, D-Trix, Hawk.
Yeah.
Just to name a few that were on the show. So Twitch. And so people who paved the way and started their own careers through So You Think. So I know that this was a big dream of mine. So besides that, putting in the work in the other styles and studying them. And there's this beautiful thing about dance where it's not fake it till you make it, but fake it until you become it. So every style I did, I pretended I had to be a ballroom dancer. I pretended I had to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
And even though my height, I was I'm 5'1". Or probably 5 foot. I lied on my license, but So I'm a small male, so I know I had a lot of adversity to come. So I'm just ranting because I'm like, there's so much that went into the show, and one thing I want to point out too is that with the pressure, like I felt like I was also representing myself, but representing my family, representing the people that were supporting me on the show. Like everyone was a part of this, not just me.
Yes.
It was everyone that made this experience what it was.
Yeah.
So, if you ever want to be on So You Think You Dance, season 17, But it was
coming up now.
It was the best experience, and to be the first B-boy to win the show, it's just words can't describe, and to make all the B-boys proud, and represent who I am as a person. So
So suggestion would be train across the board, get exposed to everything. Like, don't shy away from stuff that you don't feel like you probably didn't feel super confident walking into, as a hip hop dancer walking into a ballet class or, but you go in and you, again, you take it in, you humble yourself as a student. And if you want to grow, that's what you do. Right.
Yes.
So,
I've been in the dance industry since I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, I know like, when you go for a job or an audition, they expect you to have technique. And even if you don't, you should hop in those classes because it makes you, I'm a big believer in knowledge is power. So even just embracing other styles and being open-minded is just going to make you grow.
Yeah.
As a human being. So that's what I did. And be versatile because now we're coming, 2021, and you have dancers that could do it all.
Oh, yeah.
And, and it will just help you in the long run. It really helps you in the long run to know all these different styles.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. And you're so fortunate that you were, you had exposure to it all. Yeah. A lot of times, it's not, maybe people are more limited. We come from big cities where we're right here by LA, right? So our students are dancers, friends, we have access to that, and that's a blessing too. You know what I mean? So,
and for the viewers that don't, there's YouTube. There's
I
so
know,
many
right?
outlets. But
Follow him on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and everything else.
But yeah, so we definitely, it's evolving.
Yes.
And yeah.
For sure. Nice. So 2019, we win the show, right? It's like the craziest 8 weeks. It was 8 weeks?
Yes, it was 8
Okay.
weeks. Wow.
Craziest 8 weeks, probably.
And then we went on tour, 40
Oh, and then
city
hello,
tour.
yeah.
It was
I saw you in
amazing.
tour, yes. That was a whole
Yeah, thanks
year,
for
or what,
coming.
what? How long was your tour?
That was literally, it wasn't, I think, November.
Like 4 months? How long was the whole tour?
5 months.
Oh, 5 months, okay.
It was a long tour.
Yeah. So dancing every other day, probably travel dance, or
Yes,
whatever it was.
yes.
So that's dope. Then the pandemic hits.
Yes.
Ugh, here we are. No, I'm just kidding. So we've all obviously turned heavily to, I mean, social media has been around, right? Since whenever, 2000, I don't know when Instagram came, 2009, 7-ish.
Yeah.
So you have a crazy following on TikTok. Yes. He's all,
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about this.
No.
But and Instagram too. So of course, all of our kids here, all are heavily on all social media. They do all that. They follow all the trends. They follow, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Sometimes they're speaking to me. I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm like, yeah, cool. Now Amariah's getting into it too. But
Yeah, that's amazing.
so talk to us about that. Talk to us about like your journey starting, I guess more specifically with TikTok. I remember
Yeah,
even
in
we were
social media
in
and
social
TikTok.
media.
Well, yeah.
Go.
First of all, I've never been like social media heavy. If
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
even like, yes, I'm still part of that new generation, but coming up, we didn't think social media was a thing. Like,
Yeah.
And even with the classes, like, we don't really record classes and post it.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't a thing. Facebook was a thing.
Yeah.
But
You just danced because
Yes,
you
I
were
loved
doing it. You were loved
But
it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say now, social media is, if you want to be a dancer, social media is a part of it.
Pretty crucial
during this time.
Yeah.
But especially with TikTok, it's fun, and it gives people a different side of you as well, and it gives you a chance to be creative. And TikTok's amazing, and I encourage other dancers as well to hop in it, because it doesn't hurt, and it does help, your fan base, and gets you more involved with them as well.
Yeah. So you've got your family
Yes.
TikTok. So tell us like what your kind of like family, life is in terms of like shooting stuff for your family stuff, your personal, because I'm sure most of the viewers probably follow all, you know what I mean, or know that too.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
you're talking to some parents here a lot that are going to be listening to. They're like,
Exactly.
oh, hey, we know them. We know the family.
Well, when the pandemic hit, obviously most of my stuff were put on hold, and literally the Fast Life After tour was just like, whew, everything came to a calm, as everyone felt during this pandemic. So I was all like, really looking at the bigger picture and looking at things that really make me happy. And I want to point out, I'm so thankful for my parents. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them.
Yes,
they're my
amen.
biggest supporters, my biggest critics, and my biggest fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, so during the pandemic, I'm like, you know what? Let's just shoot some dance videos. It's like our bonding time.
Yeah.
Let's just see,
Your whole
at the
family's
time, I'm thinking
talented.
like, let's see if we could like blow up or something. Like, that's how TikTokers think, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then what became as like, oh yeah, let's just do it for fun, became to something that we do on a regular, and people love it.
Yes.
And for me, it's all about inspiring the world and putting a smile on people's faces. Whether I'm on stage or I'm on social media, everything's the same. Like we said, why?
Yes.
So
yes, for sure.
So that happened, and especially with my TikTok, I was
You blew up like quick.
Yeah, so I would post about my family like every once a month on my TikTok, and then I was like, let me give TikTok a try. So
Nice.
I think I started with like 400K. Now I'm almost at 1.8 million. And I was
Take notes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
And I was just being creative. I'm like, I watch a lot of Netflix on TikTok. why not just, create something with it? So
Yeah.
that everyone kept on saying, oh, I love this show. Oh, I love your dancing. So it's like all of it came into like a creative type of.
Yeah, you get creative. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what we have to do during these times.
Yes,
so,
for sure. No, you're doing such a good job. I mean, in terms of
so
like inspiring and just, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Creating joy and sharing joy and your talent and all of it. We were over breakfast too. We were just saying, like his parents have done, like you were just saying, have sacrificed
so much.
I mean, when you have a child that is, working truly, you're working, traveling, and that comes at the cost of the whole family, right? Because it's not like you're an adult. Well, yes, now, but you know what I mean? At that point, it's like the whole family is invested in the success, and that takes a lot. You obviously know or realizing that as you get older, 100%. Right? And everything too. But then as you get older, it's like you really have to dig for your why, and the why is like really important, and 100. That has to get you up every day, and that has to get you, your motivation. And as artists, we have mountains and valleys, and you know what I mean? And it's real. And it is real, and you sometimes feel super uninspired, and that's the total truth of it. And I'm sure every artist can talk to that, and can attest to that. And then you're searching for inspiration, and you need to find it, and then you find it, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Then you whatnot. So it is a beautiful journey. It is a beautiful journey, and and it just, that's what creates art, is struggle and beautiful moments and hard moments and all of that. And you get to share it in your choreography, you get to share it on stage, you get to share it here in podcasts or whatever, social media.
Thank you so much.
So I think it's all just a blessing. I'm so proud of you, so proud of, everything you've accomplished, where you're at now, which is you have so far, you know what I mean? Your path is still, oh gosh, God's path for you is crazy. I'm just so excited to continue watching it, and everyone, of course, too. So we're super thankful to have you at the Students Lab. I know all the kids are freaking out. They're probably already, getting ready to come in, and all of that too. But I don't know if there's any last minute words you want to share. We'll wrap up so we can, get going with master classes starting soon. So
no, thank you, Bonita. You got me emotional. Like, no, for real. No, for real. It's like,
I like to do that.
Yeah. No, especially now. Like, I feel like, and I would like to mention too, I met you at such a young age.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
I always looked at you like a big sister to me. So then it's crazy how everything comes through full circle.
For sure.
And through fruition and manifestation.
Yeah.
Everyone, manifestation is important. For the kids that want to be amazing dancers, amazing human beings, I like to say this. Do what you love. Do what you love, because that's what's going to last, and that's what's going to motivate you, like you said, to get up every day. And know that you could do anything you set your mind to, because literally the sky's the limit. Sky is not the limit, but you know what I mean? Sky is not the limit. So sure. Just keep working hard. Also, education is important. So stay in school, always have plan A, B, and C. Because especially take notes, if this pandemic, happens again, or this is the new normal, you have to roll, and just like everything else, everything's a roller coaster.
Adjust.
So then, just keep believing, keep dreaming.
Definitely.
A 10-year-old Bailey would say, dream, believe, achieve, and it's possible. So never stop dreaming, y'all. Never stop dreaming.
Dope. Shout out all of how they can follow you. Share all of your stuff real quick.
You can follow me on MySpace. Just kidding.
I was like, you can? Oh,
right,
dang.
I think all my socials is Bailrok, Bailrok, no C.
Nice. Drop that C. All right. Sure. So Bailrok, he's going to jump into his masterclass now with his live drummer. We're super thankful again, bro, to have you. You will be back for sure at the Students Lab. This will not be the end, or the last time, I guess I should say. So be sure to stay in touch with our podcasts weekly. We drop them, all different new topics, and we'll catch you guys soon. Peace out.
Peace.